Hello and welcome, race fans, into some Wednesday night racing action as the Vigilante Racing Series heads on home into their penultimate race here for this first part of the season. After this, we have the championship race next week at Homestead, but tonight we are live from Sonoma up in the hills, down in the dirt. These drivers having a tricky task on their hands tonight, especially for the 8 that want to move on and be part of that Final Four. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get things all launched off and start things with the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge thank you to the proud supporters here at the Vigilante Racing League, such as Blue Fox Properties and Dave Mayberry. Give them a call at 520-850-4189 if you're looking to buy or sell your house in the Tucson, Arizona area or anywhere across the country. Give Dave a call, and with a free consultation, he'll put his 18 years of experience working for you to get things all lined on up and just right and get you into that dream home, because man, oh man, this housing market just gets crazier and crazier day by day. So do not delay and get yourself a good quality realtor. As always, I'm Alan Brown, and I am so glad that I've watched Caddyshack at least 32 times. And I know, even if I'm having the best round of my life, not to stand out there and continue playing on and get struck by lightning. I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Alan English, up here in the booth with me. Alan, we head on down into some road course racing here as these championship finals kind of start to wind themselves on down, heading into the last week, next week at Miami Homestead.
Yeah, man, it's good to see a league that's not afraid to follow the NASCAR schedule and go to some of these road courses, and even ones that are frustrating for some drivers. I absolutely hated racing here, but that's just my opinion. I hated it because of the elevation changes, and you know how when you're going up the hill, you top the hill, your suspension all unloads and you lose all your grip and all that. But I mean, this has really been a popular track for years, and even back when it was called Sears Point many years ago. It's still fun to watch on TV, but it was always frustrating for me as a driver in iRacing. But it's a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure tonight's race is going to be no different. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun watching this deal tonight.
That indeed we will, as down there on pit road is my other good friend, Mr. Adam Turner, joining us here with all the knowledge down there from pit road. And Adam, it's a tricky task here at this road course. Like Alan was mentioning, a lot of elevation changes, a lot of sweeping curves to the left, and to the right, and man, it's just a wild, crazy roller coaster that these race drivers are going to have to try to compete on.
Yeah, I'm not normally the road course type, but this was a traditional NASCAR track. I think you called it. What was it? Sears Point? Is that what they called it back in the day?
Point back in the day, yeah.
If the number 3 has run here, then I'm okay with it. Kind of like the one Watkins Glen. I like that one. The elevation changes are super cool to watch, but like you said, I don't want to be out there driving in that. It's crazy. It'd be mayhem. I want to take even though we're in California here at this track, I want to talk about today is Flag Day. You know, little American flag ain't hurting anybody. Put that thing up. Don't tread on me. And it's American flag. Up. Yes, I got mine up as well. So Flag Day, that's a thing today. And here's the rules. 1 fast repair. 60% fuel. Unlimited tires. 25 incident points, you will start accruing of penalties, and 6 incident points after that, you'll get more penalties. There are no disqualifications, so we won't see anybody booted. 96 degrees on the track. Pretty warm. It's going to get a little slippery out there. I hope somebody's just turned somebody. This is the type of place where you can just turn people on purpose.
Yeah, you can smack.
Nobody even knows. You know, I lied. My braking was bad. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. You know, this is where you take people out. This is where you get your enemy right here at a track like this.
Oh.
Well, it most definitely is. As we take here a look at tonight's race info. A little warm out there today, but the sun is shining and no rain in the forecast, as this is California. Taking a look at this tricky and treacherous racetrack, a whole bunch of turns. I don't even have the turns memorized yet. I just know it goes up, it goes back down, it goes to the left, to the right, and then somehow makes its way back around. But thankfully, these drivers have had actually 2 weeks now to get this kind of practiced and under control. But either way, that brings us down here to tonight's key to the race. And man, oh man, it may look like these drivers have plenty of room. However, that is not the case. They really need to keep it on the racetrack. It's not like there's any concrete to save them here. It is just surrounded by dirt around these corners. And once when you hit that dirt, oh man, you might as well just put it on the holler den, because you're just going for a little bit of a ride.
Yeah, in recent years, they've done some track improvements here. The runoff areas are a little bit wider to get you slowed down before you come up on a wall or a tire barrier. But there's still some spots in the track where if you get off and you get loose in there in the dirt, you're going to go into some tire barriers, or some K-rails there. So, yeah, you definitely still got to keep it on the track. I think that's a good tip for today.
Yeah, another interesting deal is with this, and we'll probably see a green flag caution, green flag pit stops at some point, is that pit entry, man. It's a little wild. I think in practice we've seen a few trucks kind of crash into the barrier there, so that's something to pay attention to. We will have a stage break here in this race, somewhere around halfway through, so... Hey man, as far as turning right, I'll take it, you know. At least it's not one of those overseas tracks, you know. I don't like anything that's not American. This is American. Even though it's California, it's still, we have to claim it until we get rid of them.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's still America. There's some good California people out there. I make a lot of jokes.
Sure.
I still love California.
As we take a look here out of the kind of a window here near the press box, you can see the hairpin turn. That's the final turn that would get these drivers to complete a lap, and it looks like there's a whole ton of room. As you can watch here, is the 82, and Mike Everidge makes his way around this final sector and tries to complete a lap. He then heads on back down the straightaway there, which isn't exactly straight either. He's got to do a little bit of a kink to the left, and either way, it's still going to be power down from that point on and back up the hills. As these guys definitely have their work cut out for them here tonight. Seeing a few people running a little bit slower than we typically see, but again, that's all Probably because they're just trying to get a lap in. If they just drop one tire off the edge and get one of those 1X off tracks, man, oh man, there goes that lap time that they were working so hard for.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who's already joining us over there on the YouTube chat. We went over 400 subscribers overnight, so thank y'all so much for all the support. Papa Albert is out here pulling for young Albert out there, Albert Anderson. Earl Evans, thanks for all the support as always, man. You're one of our biggest supporters out there, and we sure appreciate it. Kyle Vaught is with us, saying, and we're back. Cheers. We know who he's going to be pulling for out there tonight. Chan the man, not able to make it tonight because of work, but hey man, let's do a little grid rundown here for the folks.
That we can, is starting up on pole position. It's going to be the 84 of Mr. Josh Bittner. He's going to have the 14 of Dustin Eaton starting to his outside. 23 of Canada's own Sean McDonald in the 23 machine starting there in third. You're going to have the 64 Trevor Robertson starting up there as well in fourth. 81 did I say? Now I'm getting confused. 81 of Jonathan Osborne is going to start here tonight in fifth. 28 of George Rincon having a pretty solid run. We last season we saw him have a pretty good run here as well. He's going to start in sixth. Looking forward to see if he moves forward here in this field. 53 Jeremiah Burke having a pretty good starting spot in seventh, with current defending champion and on the chopping block, number 18 Andrew Player starting here in eighth. 27 of Mr. Timothy Pope will start here in ninth, with the 7 of Jonah Long rounding out your starting top 10.
Yeah, the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg finishing his qualifying run good enough to get 11th here at the start of this race. 12th place starting out will be John Gallagher in the 123. The 82 of Mike Everidge will start in 13th place. And outside of him there, to his right rather, Andrew Cawthon in the 10. The 01 of Kelly Kill will start in 15th place. 16th will be Michael Taylor in the 98. 17th, the 4 of Dion Jones. America's driver, the 329 Albert Anderson, starting in 18th place. 19th will be Dave the Gambler Mayberry in the 29. And rounding out your top 20, Jess Vaught in the 33.
Yeah, I don't know if people, they just didn't, they had penalties or why. Like Greg Klein sitting here, he'll start 21st. I don't know why he didn't put in a lap, but that's interesting. Greg Klein 21st, David L. Kelly in the 49, 22nd. Greg Dobson in the 085. 23rd, Michael Adamson. Mike Adamson, double eights. 24th, sponsor, not sponsor. 13, Earl Evans, 25th. And Russ Endicott back there in the rear with the gear.
Yes, sirree, indeed. And that is your official starting grid here from Sonoma as the field paces behind the pace car and makes their way up the hill for the very first time, getting all these tires all warmed up, getting the brakes up into temperature. Oh, Bittner had me worried there for a little bit. Like, did he forget there was a corner there?
I don't know.
Using as much of that turn off area as possible. That's the thing when pacing around these road courses. You're trying to leave room for everybody, but at the same time, you're trying to stay stacked up. And boy, I tell you, that pace truck, man, he ain't going slow neither. He is carrying a good chunk of speed around here.
Yeah, and you got several drivers asking for EOLs, so they may be trying to get passed by some other drivers here.
Good. Interesting.
That indeed, as they make their way kind of down towards the back end of the race course. Just a little bit more to go, and then that pace truck will be peeling off down and into that tricky pit road. The entrance, pretty easy. It's just straight away. Just keep it to the left down there on that final little backstretch, but the rest of the turn is pretty tight. As here we go, all lined up as the 84 and the 14 for the first time here tonight. The engines are roaring, the fans are cheering. Here we go. Green flag racing here from Sonoma. Side by side, they trickle their way down through the first turn and up the hill. It's a sharp left-hander now coming to the apex of that hill. Got to be careful as these trucks become almost zero gravity weightless here. It's the 64 Trevor Robertson able to get some good power down, tries to move up inside of the 81 of Jonathan Osborne, and now the 23 of Sean McDonald. Everybody trying to, for the most part, looks like they're all staying a single file here. Does look like Earl Evans having a little bit of a rough go already, making a quick trip through the grass, but he's able to drive on out of it. The 88 of Adamson. Oh, we got one going far to that outside wall. That looks like that was Dion Jones having a little bit of an issue back there. He is stopped kind of back on the apron, making sure he can rejoin the track safely here, as Josh Bittner out in front with the 14 of Eaton close on his tail. The 64 Robertson trying to defend against that 53 of Jeremiah Burke. 28 of George Rincon not too far off, just losing a position here on that restart. 81 Jonathan Osborne looking a little twitchy under power here as they go through the S's and into the hairpin for the first time under green flag. Going out wide is Osborne. He's going to lose a position to that 64. Now the 53 as well, as Burke tries to slide on through, but no, Osborne shuts the door as, oh, we got, looks like absolute mayhem going on kind of towards the tail end of the field here inside of that hairpin. 82 and Mike Everidge having a rough go of it.
I heard Greg Dobson say something over the radio. I think he was apologizing there.
Well, I saw several guys hit like the big curbs. There's some big curbs out there on some of these corners.
Yeah, the turtle
Almost,
things.
yeah, put your car on two wheels or your truck, and yeah, they're working out the kinks early.
It was Dobson driving a hazard yellow machine. He's saying he's a student driver, and just locking him up. Oh, as Dion goes for a trip through the grass, snags that outside concrete barrier just a little bit. Still not able to get it onto the track. Dirt tracking it the best that he can, and man, that was pretty smooth there, Dion.
And when Dobson spun out there, he he came back up onto the track. There was trucks coming. Like, oh no, hold the brake. Some guys had to take some evasive action there, but
Ooh, good action.
A lot worse.
The Kelly Keel in the 123 right now.
He's got Greg Klein and Jess Vaught, as well as John Gallagher, all racing for position here. We're looking back at the practice. Greg Klein was up there, top 5 in total pace speed here, so definitely looking to see if maybe teammates are going to work together to try to shuffle their way back up through this field, as there goes the 01 looking to the right-hand side of Gallagher. Gallagher shuts the door but hits the curb, bouncing that truck left and right. Tough to keep that thing stable when you're bouncing off that curbing. Now diving back down to the inside, heading on into that sharp left-hand corner. Man, making use of every inch of that curb. Kelly Keel was almost not quite able to put the power back down. Here comes the 33 of Jess Vaught as the 01 goes very wide down there.
Whoa.
And 123 Gallagher is going to try to slip on through as well.
Gallagher has to hate where he's at, right?
Well, and I mean, he's doing a terrific job. He's being very careful. He's lifting early. He's going through the curves very smoothly, though.
He's got
he's playing the smoothest fast thing here.
3 teammates around him right here, which is wild. Greg Klein's currently on his tail.
As we did have a pass for the lead, let's go ahead and take a look back at that one. Heading on down into that hairpin and just outbreaking that 84 of Bittner and making use of that inside lane. Dustin with a Y. Dustin Eaton grabbing control of the lead of this race.
See how long he can hold on to that. Crazy Mom 305 out there saying, let's go Team Tang. And number 7, let's go Jonah. Jonah Long out there currently in 9th place, right behind the 18 of Player.
Look, we have a Canadian in 3rd place right now, Sean McDonald. I wonder if they celebrate the flag today. Is it Flag Day for them?
I don't know if they have Flag Day or when it would be.
Well, they should really, like...
We do share some holidays with them.
I'm talking about they should have our Flag Day. Because we're so friendly, they should salute the American flag,
Oh, my goodness. That's
Don't you
just over
think?
the
We're
line.
friends.
Ooh.
Or the Maple Leaf.
It's the 18 of Andrew Player right in front of Jonah Long and Timothy Pope, right along here with Timothy Pope. Gets a little loose under brake in there and almost loses a couple of positions, but able to straighten it on out. Oh no, looks like Albert Anderson taking a quick trip through the grass, but able to get it all collected back up.
Tim Pope, I'm not
Yeah.
sure how he feels about this track.
He's
Oh,
in 10th place.
He's hanging with them. He's hanging with Jonah Long right now and Player. He
I-
seems to be trying to learn some stuff, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he would care for it. Just think knowing him. We've talked to him a million times. But he's going to do his best, and he'll hang in there. I think he'll have a good race.
I think so
He's
as
pretty-
well.
He can learn stuff pretty well, too. We've seen him do it.
64 Robertson, though, making a pass around the outside of the 23 at Sean McDonald to take over that third place spot. Earl Evans having some more issues out there, cutting some corners.
See, this is the type of race I'd like to go to the race and watch it in person, and then be one of them high and mighty people and just sip wine the whole time. Because it's there in the Napa Valley. Just have a couple wines, face get all red and hot, and I'd probably fall down one of the hills and make a spectacle of myself.
Oh, Andrew Cawthon hard into the inside wall. I don't know if it's the inside or the outside. Either way, he went hard into the left-hand wall there. As we take a quick look back, he was having a great race in battle with the 123. Oh, just in that final section of the track called the S's, it's a very much a rhythm section, and looked like he might have just missed his lifting point or braking point, whatever these guys have to do in those trucks, and he just slid all the way through one of those corners and into that tire barrier. Thankfully, it doesn't look like the truck is damaged at all. Of course, with the new damaged model, I should say, some of these hitch would start appearing a little bit more obvious, but right now that 10 machine goes through the grass again, hard into the concrete.
Deion Jones went off the track last lap as well.
You know what I love about this new
Indeed.
SDK? We can see how many off tracks the guys have. Right now, the winner, currently off track, Earl Evans. Been off track 4 times in the 13. It's like he's dropping spots right now.
Yeah, he's just
So the
trying
winner
to
has
get
the most?
Yeah, sure. As
He's winning.
13 machine of Earl Evans. You could just see how much he was struggling as he was trying to get back out onto the race surface. That dirt just offers absolutely no grip. It's like trying to drive uphill on ice on race tires, on balds, on slicks, whatever you want to call it.
Not a
Karen
good-
Smith is out there in YouTube land saying, "Let's go Chachi" in the number 81.
But Tim Pope just went off track a hair. He's fine. But yeah, Earl Evans is winning right now. He'll be number 1 in our hearts tonight in the 13 machine. AAA sponsored, not sponsored. You got to give a prize to somebody who's been off the track the most, right?
I mean, we don't have to. Jeremiah Burke taking a quick drift down through the grass as well, kicking up smoke right in front of the 23. Sean McDonald heading on down into the hairpin. John Gallagher having a little bit of a rough go of it. Let's go ahead and see what happened with him. Just going almost into those tires as he was coming back down the hill. Thankfully able to make use of that runoff. And then he spins. Man.
It's rough too, because when you lose track position in a spin, you're not going to get it back until we get this stage break that's going to come halfway through the race here.
And that's if we get one. You got to remember, NASCAR went to the no stage breaks, and they have been trying to emulate and NASCAR as much as possible.
They are doing it here.
They are doing it.
They are. It's going to be at the. They're going to close the pits at 27 and 29.
Yeah.
I don't know, lap 29, I believe.
The first stage ends end of lap 28.
Okay, so beginning of 29.
Yep, beginning of 29. They're gonna
So
throw the yellow.
NASCAR went away from stage breaks.
Yeah.
At road courses.
Yep.
Or
at
just
road courses.
At road courses. Well, they might do it at like Charlotte. That because I mean Charlotte isn't really that long for the most part. I mean three quarters of it's on the oval, right? But like here at Sonoma, I got a feeling they just once when the field kind of gets spread out. I mean, like right now we got a pretty good spread as Josh Bittner in the 64, Trevor Robertson having a good battle for a second side by side as they make their way up the hill. Still going to be side by side in the 57. Earl Evans is going to be there, so that's allowing the 53 Jeremiah Burke to squeeze on by as well. Oh man, just absolutely pick maneuvered there for the 84.
Yeah. They used Russ Endicott as like a blocking dummy there. Man. Ooh, there's a little bump right there.
84 kind of got into the back of him just a touch.
Let him know, hey, I didn't appreciate that squeeze play. Josh ain't gonna. Yeah, I don't think we've seen the end of that. That might be something to watch.
98 of Mike Taylor in that Jolly Rancher machine. Excuse me. Taking a trip down through the grass. Looks like David Kelly has done about 6 laps, and he's as of right now calling it good. Hanging out in the pits. I think he's preferring maybe sipping that wine as well there, Adam.
Well, I'd be going to eat a hot dog or something. Yeah.
Hot dog. Well, it's California. You probably can't even have like a real hot dog. You probably have some
maybe.
vegan dog and a glass of Chardonnay.
The 27, Timothy Pope in the hairpin turn, one of the final turns here on the race circuit. Getting a little loose, trying to put the power down. Almost slides back across the track right in front of Jess Vaught, who is your current points leader heading into tonight. As Josh Bittner still sandwiched between Sean McDonald and the 53 of Jeremiah Burke. But as of right now, just out there in cruise control, 14 of Dustin Eaton. We saw it over at COTA. He really likes getting that truck pretty loose at these road courses, and that is exactly what he's doing well here tonight. Getting that truck all rotated through these corners, now catching on up, trying to put Deion Jones in that old Mountain Dew scheme 4. Put him back another lap down.
Yeah, this is the point in the race. If I'm racing in the trucks with these guys right here, I'm already in the pits. I'm done. I was terrible at these. They're very tough. You take some left-hand turn guys and you throw them in a place that does right-hand turns and ups and downs, and it's hard.
I don't know. Jimmy Johnson did pretty good over there at Le Mans in that Cup car.
Well, he's a hell of a driver too. I don't know, like some of these guys are good. Like they love this stuff. So I just was a left turn guy.
Ooh, into the barrels goes Jonathan Osborne. He knew it and recognized it right away, trying to get that truck woed on up, and you can see him as he struggles to get back out onto the racetrack here. Earl Evans adding to the total there. Deion Jones as well. He's in contention now, fighting for who's got the most off tracks award.
Bill says Earl's winning.
Well, Mike Adamson having one heck of a race out there tonight. He's up 15 spots right now. We hadn't really talked about it, but he's been passing people like crazy. Driver in the 88 currently in 11th.
I think him, Jess Vaught, and Greg Klein are gonna really take off when we have this stage break. I think we're gonna see some amazing stuff from those guys. Jess Vaught is one of those guys that's good anywhere. So
Sean McDonald just set the fastest lap there, boys. Our Canadian driver of the Toyota there.
Is he where those fires got cranked off somehow?
I don't know.
Magically fires. Did the bears start the fires? What happened up there? I'm still curious. I hope.
Yeah, one of the mooses.
Yeah, it might have tipped something over. Like Mrs. O'Leary's lantern. Did they tip over the lantern? Wouldn't it O'Leary in Chicago?
Chicago Fire?
Yeah, where the cow tipped over a lantern and burned the whole town down. That was probably the CIA too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, never mind. That was in the 1800s.
We're flagged.
I sometimes lose my mind. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean that. Something's coming over me tonight. I'm having a feeling.
Ethan for now is out there pulling for Michael Taylor on the YouTube. Stephanie Fraley is pulling for Earl out there.
Nice.
Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, he does.
Oh, good.
Earl doing his best to keep that Toyota in one piece, but he's definitely met that wall a few times. You can see the front hood. Thankfully, it's tied down pretty good because it looks like it's trying to in one of those kind of comedic movies there, guys, where the hood pops up and it gets caught on the window and you can't see out of it. It looks like it's trying to do that, but thankfully it's still sticking on there.
Didn't that happen in Any Which Way But Loose, where the chimpanzee was driving the limousine?
And about 4 episodes of Dukes of Hazzard, I think.
Yeah. Oh, man. They do have a cool new damage model with the trucks here in iRacing. iRacing's a simulations. It's not a game. Everybody knows that. And these guys are having a great simulated race here tonight. This is actually really fun to watch. I'm enjoying it.
As we watch here, Jonah Long making his way up the hill, now back down to it in a very tough braking zone, downhill, and really not cambered to help these drivers, but making good work of it there for the 7 machine. And now one more tight right-hander, and we slide on into the S's. We're going to stay here as he makes his way through the S's, following that 18 of Andrew Player. And you can just kind of listen. It's all about the rhythm, getting on the power, getting off the power, back onto the power, and then back off of the power. As they're going to go flying by Dobson there as he tries to just stay out of the way. And man, these trucks are looking looser than a goose out here. No, trying to save it, and he does. 7 of Jonah doing a great job wheeling that machine into that tight hairpin. Where, man, this is where triple screens and VR really helps you, where you can actually rotate your head and look forward, so that way you can see what's coming up ahead. And as they come back down across the line with a little bit of a skid, he goes back up the hill, completing another lap.
Another thing you have to do here a lot is shift. So these guys really have to practice all the shifting, because normally on oval, once you get to 4th gear, you're done.
We got 3 in pit lane. Wittenberg, Jesvot, Jonathan Osborne all in the pits, or rotating in and out of the pits at the moment.
Yeah, Josh Bittner in the 84 machine made his pit stop just a little bit ago. But how about this? The 64 Robertson. We know he's pretty good at these road courses. He's going to chase some of these drivers down. He's caught back on up to that 14 of Dustin Eaton. So we got a good challenge here for the race lead. That battle between Jonah Long, Mike Adamson, and Andrew Player still kind of filtering its way on through. Looks like Andrew Cawthon getting a position made there on the 55 Ricky Wittenberg. Same thing with Dave the Hot Rod Mayberry in that 29 machine. Just trying to keep it clean, keep it on out there, and move on up the field as much as he can. Ricky Wittenberg, as of right now, what I'm showing, 0 off tracks. Same thing for Eaton, Robertson, and McDonald. Jonah Long, Mike Adamson joining them in that crew, as well as Andrew Player. So still, we got a few guys out here that are keeping it on that race surface here.
Yeah, and Player, Burke, and Pope are pitting. It's like they're pitting in threes here. I guess everybody has their own style. So those guys are in the pits. And this has been a good race. We hadn't seen anything too much mayhem involved where you bring out a huge caution or anything. I think the one stage break's just going to be about perfect here.
As, oh man, really getting that truck loose. 14 of Dustin Eaton. It looked like the 64 Trevor Robertson might have had a run and a challenge at that lead, but ended up going off track, having to give that position away. Otherwise, he would get penalized for it. And still looks like the 14 and 64 are yet to come on down into the pits, and it's still going to be a hot minute before they do it. At least one more lap's worth.
Yeah, look, Sean McDonald's got the fastest lap time here, 0.6 faster than Dustin Eaton. But I think Dustin Eaton's just a little bit more consistent each lap. Here comes Jonah Long down the pit lane.
Well, he's also only 1/10 faster than that 64 of Trevor Robertson.
Good call.
So a lot of good lap times being had out there. Oh, and of course, as we did that official, off-track count and seeing who's staying clean, about like half of them have now gone off track. Ricky Wittenberg being one of them, taking a quick little jaunt, but able to get it back onto the race surface pretty quick. Timothy Pope, really struggling into the tires, into the concrete. Got some traffic coming up as well. He's able to save it just in time. The 18 of Andrew Player just ran out of braking room there. He tried as hard as he could to not get into the back of the 33 of Jess Vaught there, but just snagging a piece. As here comes the
No damage.
27 of Timothy Pope trying to get back on up and through. Looks like Mike Everidge having some issues down there as well, trying to get things back on the race surface.
Yeah, no damage on the back of the 33 there. The 18 just slid into him there. It didn't hurt anybody, so no harm, no foul.
Well, that's no fun when nobody gets hurt. I mean, that hurts some feelings.
Oh,
Ooh,
goodness.
Osborne's around again. He's having a
Chachi.
he's having a couple of rough laps. Let's see how many times he's been 4 off tracks, so he's had a rough one. Still isn't beating Earl Evans at 5. I have faith in Earl Evans to get the most off tracks.
And that indeed is Greg Klein up 17 spots, yet to come on down into
Klein
the pit
and
road.
Rincon and Jones got into it right there.
Ooh, and that's going to be some heavy contact there.
Yeah, they were really beating and banging. That might cause some anger.
No, they definitely were. Oh, well, I think the initial contact was just hard racing. It looks like the 28 saw an opening, tried to get on up through the inside there into the corner and just kind of running out of room. And then the 4 going up that hill, man, it's very easy to get that truck all out of sorts. Just comes back across the 28 there. Thankfully, both drivers looking pretty good. Of course, both Dion and George, both are pretty calm people. Even just kind of watching what goes on, in the Discord throughout the weeks, and they usually don't get too unhappy with people.
Yeah, Tim Pope had spun coming out of the hairpin there, coming back to the start-finish line, but didn't hit anything. Able to get recovered and back on the road.
Well, I just had a reminder here. I'm looking at the YouTube chat, and reminder: abide by the community guidelines. Who sets these guidelines? Who's in charge? And why am I a part of a community I'm not really a part of a community of? I don't understand YouTube.
The community is our community, the AAA broadcasting community.
Yeah, but are we the ones that run the community?
Yeah, it's our guidelines.
So Zuckerberg can't come in here and tell us we said something bad and take us off?
No, he can still come in and say that, but he can't do anything about it.
Oh.
However,
Okay.
YouTube, depending on their terms of service.
Oh, see, the man is trying to control us again.
Yeah.
We just want to have our freedom.
Kathy Anderson's here. Team Albert, let's go. Thank you so much for joining us once again there, Kathy. And Annalie Tovar here saying, oh, yeah, Dustin's pretty damn consistent out there. Great job.
And the 329 of Anderson, very vocally, not a road course driver, but he's just trying to put in the work here tonight.
He let everybody by on the radio there, and they all thanked him in turn there.
Sean McDonald coming on down into the pit. So as of right now, the 14 of Dustin Eaton, really one of the last ones that has not pitted quite yet. And where he's at right now, he's got some traffic in front of him. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe chooses to come on down into the pits now, just to maybe save some time here, because otherwise he's trying to pass multiple people all at once. Earl Evans, coming out of the horseshoe, just spins it on around. He's going to wait for all this traffic to get around before getting it all fired back on up. Looks
Yeah,
like
he's still up
Dobson
there.
coming on down into the pits.
Dustin with a Y. Dustin Eaton's coming into the pits as well.
And you can just see how tight that is. And of course, all the while you're trying to maintain pit road speed, not go over it, because you do not want a penalty here. That's a whole bunch of lost time that you do not want. Oh no, did he miss his pit? Oh no, I forgot that this this pit road is split, kind of like there's a pretty, like one of those I don't know what you want to call it, but like the garage entryways kind of things. It's pretty large here. Oh, and
They
it
call
looks
it
And
like
paddock.
Dustin Eaton having some connection issues here, blinking in and out pretty bad. I know there's been some wild storms going on because I believe he's out there in Texas. Been some wild storms here this week.
I think he's down near Temple or something. I don't know how bad it is down there. The heat wave, though, you know, so hot, they're probably shutting the internet off and on just to keep it cool.
David Kelly joining us over there on the YouTube, pulling for the 14 out there. He said the 14, the driver of the 14, that's his son that runs out there.
Oh.
David Kelly.
Well, good. I'm glad he's joining us. Hit the subscribe, like button. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. You're going to hear all kinds of fun stuff. You're going to watch all kinds of cool racing. Subscribe, like. We got to get to 500 subscribers here shortly, or we'll have problems.
Now you're getting me confused. Is the 49 David Kelly?
Yeah, there's
The
only
14,
one David Kelly.
The 14 of
Who's the
Dustin
14?
Eaton's pops, or is
well, maybe
this
this-
another David Kelly? Are we in the Matrix? Which pill did you take, Adam?
I always take the red one. Isn't that what you're supposed to?
I'd take the one that seems like the less of a nuisance.
Ooh, 18's off track.
Yeah, 27 of Timothy Pope's going to take that position away from Andrew Player, but he's going to try to stay out in front of the 10 of Andrew Cawthon there. Andrew marked one lap, or at least one lap down, maybe a couple at this point. I think he is the first car that one lap down. Kelly Keel still on that lead lap, trying to chase down John Gallagher and Ricky Wittenberg here in front of him.
Interesting to see how this is all going to shake out when we have our stage break here in just a few short laps.
Everybody should grab a glass of wine and toast to that. Since we're in Sonoma, they should
Chug it.
chug a little glass of wine. I'm sure they're making the nothing but the best out in California, you know. You got all those rules that you have to abide by, so I'm sure everything is perfect.
Surprised they haven't censored you already.
So yeah, nobody's probably hearing me right now. I'm just talking to y'all.
Shadow banned.
Yeah. I just like to tell the truth, you know. You tell the truth in this world, you get in trouble.
Oh, Earl Evans.
What?
Not Earl Evans. That Russ Endicott was off the track and came back on. A couple guys around him there. They were able to negotiate the
Ooh.
57.
Albert Anderson making use of the parking lot for the drag strip they have here at Sonoma.
Oh, they do have a drag strip here. It is cool.
They did.
You see, why don't they, and when I mean they, I mean NASCAR, just cut off that horseshoe, make it continue to loop back around, and rather than go up this hill and do all this nonsense, just use the drag strip, break it on down, and then make that sharp right-hand corner and back into the S's, and so it's, you know, you're getting some high speeds in there.
It might be like a safety rated thing. I don't.
Safety schmafety.
Yeah, that's probably.
Safety. I mean,
I
come
think they
on.
should let the NASCAR guys do the rally cross course here.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that would be fantastic. Hey, listen, the last time I checked, my the logo on my hat says AAA Broadcasting, not OSHA, so I approve.
Yeah.
Yeah, AAA broadcast. Where'd you get that hat? I didn't
It's
know.
a hat that I've been meaning to send you guys because
Oh, be damned! I'd
Got
always
you
wanted
from,
one of those
though?
hats.
I got it from TrekDogsRacing.com.
Oh,
Man, that's super cool. You can get all your cool stuff from them. TrackDogsRacing.com. We got more off track happening out here with the four Dion Jones. He's back on the track running.
And he's in the midst of some crazy traffic, almost making contact there with that quarter panel of the 7 machine.
Jonah Long was probably scared right there for a second.
Yeah, that was a little nerve wracking. A guy a couple laps down or whatever. That pit maneuvers you.
88 of Adamson making the trying to make his way on past as well, catching on up to that 7 as the 7 and the 28 continue to have a pretty solid battle out here. The Childress Vineyards, so very fitting there for George Rincon.
That sounds fancy.
Jeremiah Burke currently out in front. Oh, he makes a mistake at the same time as the 64, but the 64s was able to come back from it a lot quicker. So Trevor Robertson back into the lead of this thing as Dustin Eaton, man, his name is flashing more than, well, I can't really say a lot of the things that first came to my mind, but
Did you see those people flashing at the White House? Oh my goodness! What is this world coming to?
Like
did
flashlights?
No, there was some activists that flashed. They were at a White House event and they flashed the cameras.
Oh,
You'll have to
that's
Google it. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it.
not safe for work, probably.
No, it's definitely not. Where is he, Dustin with a Y? Trying to look for him now.
In third, I'm being shit.
I don't think he's
I
out
should
there. I
have
think
scored
he connected.
in third.
like I said, like on my board, I see I see him flashing, which is something I typically see, with somebody with the connection issues. But
His ping is way up.
yeah, again, I think
Look
it's
at entries. His ping is like 458 and it's frozen there.
he's just having some internet problems here tonight as we take a little sky view of what's out there on the race circuit. Mike Adamson in the 88 now caught back on up to that battle with the 7 and the 28. So gonna be a 3-way battle inside of this top 10. Some fantastic driving going on there.
I have been thoroughly entertained. I really enjoy that uphill, these turns uphill at Jonah Long right now. I'm riding along with him. Having a good night. Orangutan Race Team. He's got AAA broadcasting on tailgate. I love their paint jobs. I think Ricky Wittenberg has done some of theirs. Really fun track.
So the 57 of Endicott's going to go out wide, allowing some traffic to drift on through. Jess Vaught trying to jump up into this battle here inside of this top 10 as well. He's still got to contend with getting around that 57 machine. Dave Mayberry going for a little bit of a trip through the desert and just trying to shake some of that dust off those tires and get back to it here.
Driver the 98 kind of taking it easy out there tonight as well. The Jolly Rancher machine.
Mike Taylor?
I'm not seeing a 98 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Mike Taylor.
Mike Taylor.
Yeah, there it is. Sorry about that.
He's got a cool paint. I do like that. We need more people chatting it up out there, y'all. I mean, come on now. English, I got a question for you as we're going to come up on this stage
gotta
break
answer.
shortly.
Maybe.
What kind of beer did you brew today? Anything special?
Yeah, we did it's called Blackheart by our company, but it's a clone of the original is like, I think it's called Irish Death. It's a Washington State staple up there. It's a
Okay.
black ale. It's really good.
Nice.
Grown on me. never drank dark beer before I started working there.
I don't
There's
care
several of
for
them
it
I
in the
really
summer.
enjoy.
In the summertime, it's a little much, but
Oh yeah, but
if
that's
it's
one of our
cold,
year rounds.
if it's a cold beer, I'll deal with it no matter what time of
Sure.
year.
Yeah, that's good. It's not what I'm
Ooh,
drinking now.
Ooh,
Though.
Gallagher
Gallagher.
out
Yeah.
against the outside fence. Ooh, Jonathan Osborne coming in pretty hot, able to make a pass around the outside here. So 123 tries to get back up to speed, but I'm also keeping an eye on your special leaderboard there, Adam, and it looks like we got a 3-way tie.
Oh no.
No,
Mercy.
4-way tie.
A lot of sevens out there. Pits are now closed. 88 is around. Adamson went around. Wow.
Thankfully, he was able to get it back under his own power. Unfortunately, though, the 92, Greg Klein, had to really check up for it and lost a whole bunch of the momentum he was building, tailing around that 33 of Jess Vaught. So Vigilante Force trying to get their drivers back up here to the top as quickly as they can. But as you say, pit road is closed, and we're going to be getting our stage break here in just a few minutes.
Cool. That means it's halfway time already.
Yeah.
What can we expect in the second half here? Guys like Eaton and Robertson and McDonald, very dominant out here. But Bittner, Rincon,
Right.
Burke, all right there as well.
I think Vaught and Klein and Adamson, you're going to watch out for those.
You think they're gonna make a run?
Yeah, I think so. And, since we are going to be halfway through, we're in California, everybody's going to have to, do like a vegan hors d'oeuvres or something here for the intermission.
What would that include? I mean,
I don't know.
Oh,
Celery
Jess
with-
Vaught
hit the
hard
wall.
into the barrels,
no.
and don't be fooled. Those
He can't turn.
No, his suspension is cooked. That's that
Toast.
new damage model there going on. What happened there for Jess Vaught? It looked like he was trying to have a battle with the 7 of Jonah Long. He was catching on up.
That wasn't good.
Jonah with the position and the 33 saw an opening up the inside, just couldn't quite make it stick. And you can just, hate to see it, but at the same time, love this damage model with the bits and pieces flying. And then, of course, they teleport back onto the truck. But, of course, the 33, having heavy suspension damage, not able to get that car all back turned around. You got the 55 Ricky Wittenberg in a tough fight here with the 01 of Kelly Keel and the 27 of Timothy Pope. They've got leader of Trevor Robertson coming on up.
There's the caution. Jess Vaught just has to get to... He's just got to get to the pits, man. It looks like he's not going to make it.
It doesn't look like he's going to make it as he jumps to pit lane and toes. Thankfully, these drivers do have, I believe, one fast repair at their disposal. And
Yep.
definitely imagine Jess Vaught is going to make use of that one. But there you have it, your stage break. Trevor Robertson, stage winner. Jeremiah Burke, Dustin Eaton, Sean McDonald, Josh Bittner, George Rincon, Jonah Long, Greg Klein, Mike Adamson, and Andrew Player make up your top 10.
long ways to go here, fellas.
And a short time to
Road.
get there. Right?
Derek Welch saying, "What's up, guys? Welcome, Derek. We'll be
Well,
watching some of their league here in a couple of nights on Friday nights. Got the late model series over there
yeah, that's
at
been a fun
NTRL. That's been hasn't it?
series. Yeah, I like it. a
Like
lot.
surprisingly so. I thought, late models, we're going backwards here, but it's short track, late at night. All the races are at night. It's short track, late models that sound great and handle
they
awesome.
look cool.
They just- it's
the whole
freaking
thing has been
intense.
cool. And they're doing little experimental stuff with it for their other leagues.
That's
so-
their free league, I think.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed that. I'll tell you what, though, I'm really enjoying this. As far as a right
Yes.
turn course, this has been fun. I wish they'd open this up to where we could, head out here more often. This has been cool.
I'd rather go to Watkins Glen twice a year.
I would agree on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to go out here and open up Alcatraz again, and then like put prisoners out there, and then every once in a while they act up. You throw them to the sharks, just kind of like a extra punishment.
No,
Really
you
turn
give
out.
them rain jackets and glue, and and you say, okay, if you could do like Clint Eastwood did, and escape
Yeah,
with this,
I like
go
it.
ahead.
It'd be like,
Like a arts and crafts contest.
yeah, hey, convicts, you want to get to the other side here? I'm giving you 3 tools, 3 things, and you go fight those sharks out there. And on the other
If you
side,
live, you get to be free.
if you make it to the beach or to the pier or whatever's over there, Dirty Harry's waiting for you. How about that? See if you can get past him.
Mercy.
Love Dirty Harry.
Well,
One of my favorite characters.
as the field caught up to the pace truck. Gosh dang, man, that pace truck is just flying. Trevor Robertson gonna lead the field down into pit lane, having some pit stops being had. Looks like the 14 of Dustin Eaton's interwebs has been fixed, so that's all
Sweet.
good to go. And you can see there in the foreground, 81 Jonathan Osborne has special handicap parking.
As he should. Peyton McGowan says late models are the bomb. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun to watch those. Because normally we're doing trucks or the Harbor Freight cars or the Gen 6 cars, which are
Infiniti,
cool,
Arca.
really cool. I mean, it's the top tier of NASCAR, right?
It's cool to go grassroots, though,
But yeah, I'd like to go
I
back
love
to the roots and see some of that late
I wouldn't
model
mind
stuff.
doing a super street stock league. That would be fun, too.
Yeah, like at Charlotte and whatnot. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
I don't think we've ever done a Legends race.
No, I mean, Legends,
We did some GT3 stuff, but
that was hard.
where was that at? We did that. Sport car race was Laguna Seca or something.
I don't know. They give us like a couple of dollars. We'll broadcast anything. I mean, we've even done a golf tournament one time, I believe, if I remember right.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
So
That was it's quite clunky, but I think if we got that
that was pretty
figured
fun,
out, that
man.
would have been fun.
Speaking of which, hey, DW, how's that baseball season thing you guys got going on? How would you guys like maybe?
MLB the show?
Yeah,
Is that
maybe one of the series that's going on. Maybe we can jump in on that one.
I can talk about baseball all day long. I grew up.
So
This
can
is
I.
like
I know you guys
right
can.
now.
I know more about baseball than I know about racing.
Me too. Brown can do any of the play-by-play for anything. I think we could make it happen.
And here comes the 2-2 pitch to Rincon.
There you go. Yeah, funny thing about Rincon, I knew this guy when he was, we just go into the.
Yeah, we can just make shit up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we do here.
I'll just have to make sure I go back and watch a whole bunch of Bob Uecker highlights.
Oh,
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna go back and watch like just those old like Harry Carey when he was drinking those Budweisers all the time. That was great.
Slamming Budweiser.
He was, dude. He would have the cups stacked up 8 deep by the 3rd or 4th inning. Legend, man. There's been some good broadcasters out there in baseball. Vin Scully was probably one of the best.
Joe Buck.
Joe Buck.
I don't mind Joe Buck. I don't like it when he does other sports like golf or football.
No, his dad.
but
His
It's
son.
his dad. Yeah, we're talking about his dad.
Oh,
Yeah, the dad.
Okay.
The dad.
But I mean, he's okay. A lot of people hate him. He's okay. But his dad was great. His dad
What's
was
the
really
dad?
good.
What was the dad's name? I thought the dad's name was Joe.
Jack Buck. His dad's name
Jack
was
Buck,
Jack.
thank you.
Yeah, I knew what you were thinking, and Brown, you were right. Joe Buck is the one current. But yeah, Jack Buck was really good.
Thank you, Tommy Welch. We appreciate it, buddy. We'll be seeing you race here very, very soon.
oh man. So how about this for a pit strategy, or lack thereof for the 92 Greg Klein, staying on out, so he's going to have
Why?
control of this restart. Yeah, we've known the man for so long. You'd think we'd figure it out. I've got no idea.
He's sneaky.
He's
That's part
gonna do a 2-pit strategy. He's gonna pit at 17, and then he's gonna pit again at like 40 or something.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's gonna help him at this point in the race.
Like him to the end.
Can they get to the end if they pitted right
I
here?
don't.
I don't think so.
They're going to
No,
be
I don't
going
think
back to the green flag with 24 laps to go. I don't believe so.
Yeah, he knows he's smarter than you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's smarter than me. I am. I
Check.
know that.
Well, I know it's not on his truck, but if you check it out, GC Cruise Travel on Facebook, just use that little put that in your Googler if you want to go on a trip. He'll help you out. He does all kinds of cool trips and stuff as a travel agent.
Well, while we get back around, let's go ahead and show what our overall current championship standings look like for this final 8. Jess Vaught, Mike Adamson, Jeremiah Burke, Trevor Robertson, Andrew Player, Greg Klein, Kelly Keel, and Dustin Eaton are currently your 8. And it's going to be whittled on down for 4 after this one. And based on points, man, Dustin Eaton, he's kind of in a must-win situation here tonight.
Yeah, if he can get a win here, and he's able to continue to the final race here, you know, it'd be something else. But it's going to be a difficult road to hoe here.
It is.
Oh, Andrew Cawthon trying to catch up to the field. Does a little bit of a spin out, but he'll eventually get all back around, and we get ready to head on back to the green flag. Greg Klein and the 27 of Timothy Pope guiding this field on around through the hairpin. Both drivers electing not to pit here, and this is I got a feeling this might cause a little bit of chaos up here at the front as they come on down through that final little kink in the corner. And here we go back to green flag racing. 24 laps to go. The 27 with a great run off the start, jumping right out in front of that 92 of Klein. 53 Jeremiah Burke and the 64 Trevor Robertson continued their battle. Same thing with that 23 and the 14 having a good fight. Oh, Ricky Wittenberg spinning his way up the hill, heading down through the grass. The 7 of Jonah Long, catches a little bit of that grass while putting the power down, but he's able to snap back and save it. Great save there by Jonah Long. In the meantime, right in front of him, you got the 84 and the 14 now going side by side.
A lot of great side-by-side action here. Unfortunately, once you get to these tight turns, you know, one side is definitely going to have the advantage here.
And
Side by side, just what part of the track you're on? Oh,
23's
23
off
off the track.
same thing with Trevor. By the looks of it, Trevor Robertson, one of
What is going on?
the race favorites. It looked like he and Jonah Long maybe have gotten into a little bit of contact there. Let's go back and see what happened between the 64 and the 23. Oh, the 23 just kind of lost it on his own, and then Trevor Robertson basically did the same thing, just on opposite sides of the track. So, like you were saying, it's very difficult to race side by side here. This is not a track where you expect to see a whole bunch of side by side action for very long. It's you really want to set up your pass, make your pass, and then be on your way. You really don't want to be racing somebody hard like that.
Yeah, you're going to end up trying to steal each other's lines and cross each other over, and all that's going to lead to is an eventual collision
Which
between
I'm
yourselves
good
for the
with.
wall.
I'm good with that. Is in Formula One, can't they hit a button and pass? Like I'm hitting a button and I can pass you.
So there's this button on the IndyCar called push to pass.
Yeah, what's
And
that all about?
it gives it like in IndyCar, I believe it gives it like extra horsepower or something like that. In Formula One, it's called the DRS, drag reduction system, where there's a little fin on their back spoiler that down on a straightaway it flips open and allows more air to go through, so less less drag, and they're able to go a little bit faster.
I'm always learning stuff about these left turn, right turn places from y'all. Well, you especially, not English as much. I don't
Yeah, not
learn
me.
too much. I do learn pop culture and anything with a steel guitar. I learned from English.
Oh, okay.
He's very good with the steel guitar and at least talking about
That's
it.
not true.
Dustin Eaton squeezing around that 92 of Greg Klein, taking over third. Timothy Pope still out there in first, but here comes Jeremiah Burke in that 53 machine, 27, tucking back into line. So Jeremiah Burke now taking control up at the very front, battling on out here. Got the 123, John Gallagher. Oh, man, he's just heading on out to the fans. He's ready to just go and barbecue some stuff with that Kingsford machine.
He may be. Will they even allow charcoal in California? We may not. It may be banned, but maybe
They
we can
might.
have some vegan dogs on like some kind of infrared grill or something. Jonathan Osborne's off the track again, unfortunately.
Albert Anderson's saying that he made it to the halfway point. Better for me to just stay out of the way of the championship guys here as they compete against each other.
Of course, as always, we do have some driver cameras on and live with us. 18 Andrew Player. He is one of those drivers that does have that available. Greg Dobson looks like he's probably going to be joining Albert there around the concession stand, just trying to stay out of everybody's way. He did, they tried. Again, it may not be their cup of tea, this road course and racing stuff, and just kind of one of those things, and just being like, you know what, I don't want to have an issue and then come up on somebody or somebody racing for a championship and ruin their run. So it's a nice sentiment to have, as well as the sponsored, not sponsored, Bad Luck 13 machine of Earl Evans as well joining us here. You can see him. Oh man, just attacking that curb. He almost gets that thing only on 2 wheels.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I'd park the thing halfway through because there's nothing worse than taking somebody out of the race on accident that was having a good race and you weren't. So I get it.
As y'all mentioned, next weekend, or next week, I should say, next Wednesday, championship night here for VRL.
Homestead, right? Aren't we going to Homestead?
Homestead, yep, absolutely.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. That's where the real championship should be anyway. They moved it to Phoenix a few years ago.
And Phoenix is a great track as well. I just think that Miami kind of more fully encompasses.
You have to be able to
Traditional
drive
oval
that
racing.
track.
Yeah.
It is because it's not very well banked. I think it reminds me of like a smaller Indy, but super fun.
Yeah. As far as the flatness and the
Yeah,
concrete and all.
the concrete. There's stands. I mean, there's racing. Very similar. Except you don't drink milk after the win. You drink a pina colada or something, I'm sure. 28, George Rincon looks like he's heading into the pits.
He's one of your California natives out here tonight, George Rincon. Several in the field.
I wonder what the tax bracket's like and what it's like to live out there, really feel the taxes in your pocketbook. Gotta be hard.
Earl Evans extravagantly announcing his
He's done.
entry.
He's done. Letting everybody know there'll be no more Earl Evans out there tonight.
Albert Anderson says he loves him some Homestead Miami. Can't wait for that one.
Ooh, Dustin Eaton. Now that his internet's all figured out, he can just focus on driving and just absolutely flies around that 27 of Timothy Pope. Again, Pope in a little bit better situation there than Greg Klein, as Pope did last pit back on lap 25, so he can go at least a little bit longer. But Greg Klein last pitting on lap 17, now coming up onto 19 laps to go. I mean, it's really, and here he comes down into pit lane. I mean, I think it's possibly worth a call. The problem is he's going to have some pretty old tires coming down the final stretch of this race. Looks like Mike Adamson's going to join him down there on pit lane as well. But it's a strategy that could work out for him. Again, he was kind of mired in the mid to mid back of the pack, so trying to figure out a way to get out in front and try to gain some positions with some strategy. It's what you got to do, especially for somebody racing for these playoffs.
And Greg Klein is one of those guys, we know him. We've raced with him for a long time, and we've watched him race as well. And he's one of those guys that knows how to save tires. He is a tire-saving guy, man. He just knows the tricks to it, and he'll really surprise you with the speed he can get out of an old set of tires.
Well, Earl Evans has decided to come back on the track, and now he's off the track. Man. He's back. He should have made a grand re-entry like he did at the pit entry.
Andrew Cawthon's had his troubles with the track out here tonight as well.
He's leading on the off tracks.
But he's sticking with it, Ooh, Yahtzee. He has not given up.
No, he is not. Here comes Josh Bittner as well, making his way around that 27 of Timothy Pope. Good ain't dead yet teammates.
Ooh. You hit the wall there. There's so much action out here. People tagging the wall. Like that was Jonah Long in 5th. It's like you have to be like perfect on however many turns there are here. What are there, like 100 turns? You got to be perfect 100 times around the track. It's very tough to do. I don't hit the turtles. Are those turtles or whatever they're hitting there?
They don't really have turtles here, but it's the curbing here is definitely fierce.
Yeah, he put it up on 2 wheels. Pretty fun.
Nice. Andrew Player making his way back on out of the pits, making his final round of pit stops here.
What do we have? 57 total laps, so we're about 16 out.
16 out indeed. That's the exact number here. Is we're riding in the gyro camera of the 23. Sean McDonald trying to chase down that 7 of Jonah Long, and you can just see how twitchy these trucks are, man. It is no easy task to keep these things under control. Did they also do some? I haven't read any of the notes here, Adam, but did they do some adjustments to the handling of these trucks? I don't remember them being this twitchy.
I don't know if they did or not, but they play with this stuff all the time at iRace, and I'm sure they changed the trucks a little bit, but they are super twitchy, but they're also not meant to.
Going side by side. Jonah Long diving up the inside. Is there going to be contact? Oh, man. Ooh, good battle there between those two.
Yeah, these trucks aren't really meant to go right, so that might be part of it, but they're always kind of reinventing themselves here at iRace, and they fix them up a little bit, they let them go, and then they fix them up, and I'll tell you what I have noticed. We haven't had, since the update, as many netcode issues. And we don't think we've seen any tonight, which has been good.
But I think the real test is when we go to a plate track, when we get a ton of trucks all in, a blanket of a second of each other. I think that's really when it starts to struggle. That will be, I think that'll be the true test, but I mean...
Ooh, 84 is up the hill. Way off track.
Oh, my goodness.
He's trying to get it turned around, but the hill's fighting him here. He's going to have to back up. There you go. He figured it out.
How did he do that? Having a battle with the... Oh, he just got 2 tires off onto the grass, and that's what happens.
If you hit your brakes, you're gonna spin. Yeah,
McDonald and
Tires
Long are having a fight out here.
dude, they're bumping each other in the tailgate quite a bit
Yeah.
here.
And dive bombing
is-
each other.
Ooh,
more
yeah.
contact.
23 goes around. Ah,
Inevitable. That was
that
inevitable.
it was gonna happen. They were racing each other pretty darn hard, and just some side to side door contact there, and the 23 of McDonald goes around.
Well, it's Flag Day. America beat Canada on that little battle. We'll see if Sean can get back out there, and he's still sitting there in pretty position.
Yeah, hopefully he's able to regain some spots here and get back up towards the front.
He's going to have to work harder than real Mrs. Poindexter to get out there, though. Yahtzee!
Earl Evans says he's going to launch up that hill after the race. He's going to launch off that hill up there. You remember at Lime Rock when they had that little Dukes of Hazzard jump? That would always jump over the.
I don't know. It was
A lot of fun. They took it out though.
I know that was also a good fun whenever we were having races there, because you would take it serious enough for the first.
I
little
would
bit,
time it,
and but then you would time it, so then someone would be going around through the corner, essentially right underneath you, and you'd.
and I'd be jumping over.
Oh man, that was. Yeah,
That was so much fun.
that was some definite good fun. But
We can't have that.
iRacing, we were with Adam, they were talking about how iRacing's always innovating and trying to keep things up to date and
Yeah,
trying to add to the realism. They also, they make mistakes, they take away jumps, but they also add, 1,000 horsepower to the ARCA car on accident, and now they have a whole new series and a whole new car.
So they actually kept that around, huh?
They kept that around. I did a little bit of a race during one of the VRL kind of fun nights. The night that I won at Michigan.
Yeah.
Right afterwards, it was those Gen 4 ARCA cars. I don't know what they're called now.
Oh wow!
But at Las Vegas, as the 14 gets into the back of the 28, sending the 28 hard into the barrels. 14 locking up the brakes down into the hairpin. Oof.
He apologized on the radio. Let's see what the 28 does here.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like he's given up his position at all.
no, he is not. They are racing harder than ever, side by side, heading on up the hill. The 28 with the inside track here, going back to the outside. Oh man, they're still going to be side by side.
And Klein and Pope are right behind him. I know Klein's really trying to itch to get her.
14 of Eaton. Out in front of Timothy Pope. Oh man, Pope just nothing you could do there if you were Tim. And again, really nothing you could have done there if you were the 14. Once when you get onto that dirt, man, it is like you are on ice skates. There's nothing you can do.
He slid across that dirt and right up into traffic where you kind of see it happen in slow motion. Looking from the outside in, and you just knew he was going to hit him. And oh man, it's nerve-wracking sometimes. 92 continues to work on Rincon in the 28 here. I don't know what his strategy is here, where he's going to try to make his move, but he's sure trying on old George.
Yeah, coming on down into the hairpin, leaving the door open was the 28, and it looks like he's just going to give up the position there. Ooh.
He says, "I'll get you later, Greg."
Mike Taylor hard onto the curbing, goes off the track a little bit. Earl Evans as well have a little bit more of an issue, and it looks like enough of an issue that he ended up having to tow. So let's see what happened here with Earl. Oh man, he there was some aggression going on to one of those curbs.
Well, I had Earl finishing on the podium tonight. I don't know what happened with him here.
Hey,
He might be feeling ill or something, but I had Earl Evans at least placing second tonight, but just didn't work out. Seemed like he something happened with him.
That's why you got to take the win place show bet there, buddy, so that way it keeps third place open as well. As the 81 of Jonathan Osborne takes a little trip down through the grass here as well. The 88 giving him a little bit of a bump. Oh, right there as well. Mike Taylor having an issue as they were coming out of those S's, able to avoid any serious contact there. Jeremiah Burke and Ricky Wittenberg heading on down into the pit lane for their final pit stops.
This might be part of the problem. Earl just texted us on the YouTube thing and says, "Hey, I've been hitting that curb a whole lot."
Yeah, we've noticed. We've seen some of that.
Oh. So we're coming down to it. We got, what, 10 laps to go here when they cross? Who do you guys got, man? Who's your dark horse? Who's going to win this thing?
Man, I don't know. It's all going to be who can keep it clean. I mean, right now, Jeremiah Burke, he's going to inherit the lead here in just a quick second. And he's a solid 8 seconds in front of Sean McDonald, who still needs to do his final pit stop as well, I believe. So McDonald is definitely a little far back.
So you think Burke's probably got this sewn up? Is what you're saying?
I got that sneaky suspicion.
Yeah, I don't. I'm looking at the data. I got to look at the data here. You know,
well,
I follow the science. I follow the science.
And Russ Endicott is the science. I think he's going to win this thing. I think that he can climb out of his 4-lap deficit here and make things happen. I got Russ Endicott winning this.
Yeah, I think I know. I get in trouble saying that.
Did I throw you off there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, Russ is having a rough night. He's not going to.
Yeah, he's a good sport, though.
Make it to the top. But yeah, just looking at the data, Burke and Robertson maybe. Pope even has a chance.
Man,
if Sean McDonald can do it?
I think Sean McDonald can definitely do it. He's been very steady here. I mean, he's had his run-ins with some drivers, but again, that was more racing things than anything. And as he's been racing.
I think he's going to need to pit though, is he not?
I think he is. The last pitting there on lap 30, I think that just might be a little bit too much to overcome. And I mean, heck, even Greg Klein in the 14 of Eaton. I mean, they're back in 7th and 8th. They're 25 seconds behind the leader, but
good tires. Yeah.
We've seen the 14 run really well here. Unfortunately, just running into a little bit of an issue on this run and dropped him back a few spots. If things happen, he could be right back in it as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Timothy Pope somehow pulls a magic rabbit out of his rear end here as well. Even though he's missing his entire front bumper.
But he's one of those guys that he'll buy the track the day of and say, so, hey, Pope, you finished on the podium tonight. Did you just buy this track today? Yeah, I did. That's the classic Pope interview right there.
Yeah.
But
he's just a natural.
Well, I will say he is not in any worry about overheating that engine right now. That thing is getting all of the air and still trying to make his way around. I don't know how much of kind of aero effect that front clip has. Oh, man, I'll guess enough because he's missed a couple corners in a row here. And
he towed.
He's going to tow it back to the pits. I think he was having a little bit too much of an issue with it. As 92 Greg Klein catches back on up to the 28 of George Rincon. Again, George, man, really none have been his fault or anything, but he's been involved in a couple instances, and he's still hung around out here battling for a top 5.
Annalie Tovar still hanging with us over there on the YouTube channel, saying, my money's on Eaton. He's going to come back, and he's going to take the win here.
Wouldn't that be something after getting disconnected?
What? That'd be
When he disconnected?
No.
He
he had an issue.
He had issues.
He had a couple wrecks, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a computer issue.
No, he had a couple wrecks.
Well, that too, yeah.
He did have internet issues, but thankfully it was the ping was very, very bad. but it wasn't bad enough for him to get that packet
Oh,
loss.
he didn't get kicked.
So he didn't
out.
get kicked. So, he was still at least able to drive around for the most part. He probably was driving around with an empty track. Probably everyone disappeared for him.
Well, hey, he's still out there. Probably stayed out of everybody's way, which he must have, because we didn't hear about it.
At
Man.
92,
for him.
getting that position on the 28 machine. Jeremiah Burke extending that lead out even more. 11 seconds now between he and Trevor Robertson. Sean McDonald's got a pretty good lead over the 88 of Mike Adamson, who is having a solid run here, up 21 spots, one off track, and only about 3.5 seconds behind the podium here right now.
It'll come down to it. Who's going to make the mistake? I don't know. Who's gonna take advantage? These front 5 drivers or so. Somebody's gonna mess something up, maybe.
Well, I think if Jeremiah Burke makes a mistake, he still could be in the lead.
Yeah,
That's
even
a huge lead.
Yeah, even if he dumps it and goes off track and has to spin it around or something, I think he could still probably maintain the lead. And I think he knows this. His lap times. I haven't been tracking his lap times.
I'd be just saving.
Looks like he's still running pretty fast. He's still running within 0.3 of his fastest lap. So
I'd slow it down.
I don't think he's slowing down at all.
Well, I would if I was him. I wouldn't want to make a mistake.
I think in his line of thinking, he's saying to himself, "Well, I'm good enough at this track to kind of keep it at the pushing the envelope." Without wrecking, there's not going to be another caution. So I think he's just trying to give himself some insurance here with extending that lead out.
And I think Robertson is extending his lead over Sean McDonald.
Yeah, it's up to 3 seconds now, 2.9.
I don't know.
That he is, as looks like we do have a couple more disconnections here. Timothy Pope putting it back up onto the hauler. Mike Taylor putting it up onto the hauler. I think Earl Evans, he'll at least probably do one more lap. I think he's probably getting that thing fixed on up so he can go and hit that hill as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah.
But John Gallagher calling it tonight. Albert Anderson, Greg Dobson, and David Kelly. Oh, it's the 64 of Trevor Robertson.
Trevor Robertson
Spins and hits that inside wall. So the 23 of McDonald's going to sneak up a spot. Same thing with the 88 of Adamson. And just like that, we were just talking about it. Who's going to make that mistake? And Robertson, oh man, just hard onto those brakes.
That puts Klein in 4th and Rincon in 5th now. Mercy.
Ooh, Greg is looking to bumper somebody. Mike Adamson, you better watch out in that 88 machine.
It will Klein you in a hurry.
Yeah.
He wants to make all the Toyotas the top 3. That's what he wants to do.
Oh, okay.
He does. Unfortunately, running a little wide there. So Adamson is getting a little bit of free space with about 5 laps to go.
Look at how these trucks are coming off sideways off of that hairpin turn. These guys are just masterful at controlling these trucks, putting power down.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I don't know. It seems like a long race. Seems like he'd be tired after doing a race like this.
Yeah, tired from shifting gears and thinking and ripping that wheel back and forth. I mean, these guys are going to be exhausted at the end of this thing.
Yeah, and there's so many places to make an error. There's so many places to screw up. There's not like 4 turns where you're focused on these 4 turns, and there's like 20 here. So you have to. Everyone's different, and as you wear out the tires and as the temperature changes on the track, you have to adjust during the race, which is not always easy.
Have y'all been watching the Eaton? He's just leaving black marks every turn. He's just laying black marks. He's just
driving crazy.
And
it's incredible.
There you go, McDonald coming into the pits here late.
Oh no! That's going to give Greg Klein third place.
You know
At
what
least
he
for
was?
the
He
time
must
being.
have been using liters instead of gallons. Dang it! He was using the metric system. I think that might have got him on the fuel. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're special, ain't you?
Yeah, very, very special. Yeah,
funny, though.
Eden is still driving the thing like he stole it.
He's sideways the whole damn
man,
race. He
yeah.
thinks it's a drift competition.
You do got to give it
Yeah.
to him. He is trying his best to do whatever he can. Oh my goodness! Even under power, he was getting that thing loose, heading on down the one of those
Yeah.
tiny little sprints. 64 Robertson though, he's right there on his tail, ready to pounce at just the single smell of blood in the water. Those two are going to absolutely have a fantastic battle. Meanwhile, man, Jeremiah Burke can just set that thing to 55 and cruise. He's out there in front by about 20 seconds over Mike Adamson, and then even more so over Greg Klein. Ooh, Andrew Cawthon taking another trip through the grass. And he's your leader in the clubhouse right now with 19, Adam.
Oh, I love it. Hey, he's still out there ripping laps off. Hats off to him. If I had anything to give away, I'd give it to him, but I don't have anything. Wish we had like little giveaways, you know. We could give away like a Lionel Richie album or something.
Oh, what? What was it?
I don't know.
I'm not going to ever question your.
My brain.
I started thinking about it. I'm like, I'd like to have one of those.
Yeah, I know. I love Lionel Richie. I don't know. It was just we're in California. I thought.
I was listening to some Stevie Wonder in the brew house today. We had it cranked
Oh,
up
yeah.
loud. Yeah.
That's some good stuff, right
Superstition, man. Favorite songs. It's awesome. Our Bluetooth speaker is very loud.
there. Well, that's good. It keeps you motivated. You know, it's the work, comrades, work.
Yeah.
Keep the music going.
Comrades.
You peasant workers, keep working.
We don't care if it's 97 in here, which it was.
Exactly.
Oh, man. 14 got loose. The 64 took advantage that time. Able to make the pass on the 14.
Oh, but the 64
went
getting
wide,
loose, so
too.
here comes the 14 right on back. Ooh, good side-by-side battle. I mean, everybody else is just kind of... Oh, man. Everyone else is just kind of spaced out right now. If we see another battle going on out there on the track, we will definitely switch to it. But here with 2 laps to go, this is where we're going to sit and watch, because these two have been absolutely going at it here. Burke, Adamson, Klein make up your top 3. Rincon and Robertson top 5, but Eaton right there on the prowl player there as well. Jonah Long and Ricky Wittenberg, as well as Kelly Keel up inside this top 10. Josh Bittner, who, man, he started way up at the front, but just ran into some issues here. Ends up drifting outside of that top 10. He's definitely probably hoping he could get this one back.
Eaton doing that. How does he keep this thing?
I don't
The
know.
back end not stepping out on him. I just don't understand it. He's just
He
it's
looks
almost
like
he's enjoying doing it.
It looks like he's run from the law before, this guy here. You know, thinks he's going to lose it, then he just puts
what
it back
he-
straight.
He's run from the law a few times. You think?
I'm not going to put that on the man.
He jumped
Ooh.
the creek and then
Jonah Long is off track.
got a '69 Charger painted orange in his garage. Maybe
He could.
big '01 painted on it.
Well, either way, we have the white flag out and waving, and down through the S's goes that 53 of Jeremiah Burke for the final time here tonight. In just a few corners left, and he will find himself probably moving on through these playoffs. He is one of those playoff drivers, as well as picking up the race win here tonight. One final time into the hairpin. It's gonna be a tight one. It's gonna be a close one with some leftover tire smoke from Osborne there in front of him. Down through the kink, and down across the line as the 53 picks up the race win here tonight at Sonoma.
I mean, great win by old Burke out there. And Mike Adamson, how about him, dude? Climbing up all them spots from the back, finishing in second place. Really showed he knows how to get it done here on the road course.
Oh, and
there goes Earl.
There goes Earl. Oh,
what did he? Oh, Lord, Earl!
Goodness, he's stuck the landing.
He sure did. 9.7. Did you capture that on the broadcast?
Oh, when someone calls their shot, you know I'm going to capture it.
That was great. Good job, Earl. You really did your sponsors proud.
I was getting a little worried for the fans there. There was some momentum headed up
there. There were humans there, yes.
Well, I think a piece might have clipped off and hit one of the children in the crowd, but it's okay.
They all knew what they were getting into. They knew this was a race car event. Oh man, that was hilarious. But yeah, great job by
Craig did a good job
third. Sorry, that interrupted my train of thought seeing the 13 go flying.
It looked like a acrobat, you know. It was awesome.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him take that hard right, I thought, oh, here it comes.
Yeah, because you used to do it all the time. I remember racing here.
Yeah.
Oh, I found a jump over here. And that's what you all used to do. Man, this has been a fun race.
While we thank Earl for that spectacular show of acrobatics, we also have a random draw driver to choose here tonight, and that is going to the driver who finished in 17th.
Right. Cawthon.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me double check. Cawthon with the most off tracks. See, he did win something tonight.
Double check me now.
I have to triple check you. And that's perfect because he had the most off tracks and he still ended up 17th. Perfect.
Jeremiah Burke burning those tires down, celebrating the fantastic race win. And again, we really didn't talk too much about Adamson. You know, we mentioned his name a couple of times. But man, talk about a solid drive for the 88 machine, up 23 to finish in that podium.
Man, I think gets better every week. When we first started watching him, I don't think he was as good as he is now. We watch him in several different series, and he's just a damn good driver. Adamson.
Oh, Mike Adamson, yeah.
Yeah.
One of our original Florida men.
Yeah. Was he with the one with the Dolphins paint the other night?
Was he? He might have. I think he was.
I don't remember.
I believe he was, but either way, we can get some of these interviews all started underway, starting with tonight's third place finisher, 92 of Greg Klein, with a interesting lack of pit strategy going on out there. Greg, moving you up through the field, because I was even mentioning it where, you know, you were kind of stuck in the mid back of the pack for a good chunk of that first run and trying to fight through that traffic. So why not get out in front of it? You're going to have to pit anyway at some point in this second run. So, man, that was a bold call, and you found yourself up there on the podium.
Yeah, I was just hoping I could save enough tires to make that work, because that was really about all I had to try to get up here towards the front and hopefully get enough points to make it through to next week. But yeah, it was all pit strategy and try to save enough tires to make it work.
Well, man, we know that you're one of the best I've seen. We've known each other for quite a long time, but not just our racing together, but the racing we've seen you do in all these other leagues, and you're probably one of the best tire saver guys there is, and you're still able to run consistent, pretty quick laps. Not record breakers, but you don't need to run record breakers. The way you used to tell us was, you just run a good, smooth, consistent lap, and you're gonna beat some people, and you freaking did it out there, man. Way to go, man. Great job.
Yeah, I mean, and smooth as key on that one. There towards the end, I was really out of tires. It was hurting, but man, just nice, smooth, consistent laps, and you will definitely get somewhere and get past some people. I didn't quite have enough to pass the 88, but I was trying. I just didn't have enough tires left to get to him.
Well, up 19 spots. We knew we'd see you somewhere close, and you made it to the podium. Good job. When are we going to see this GC Cruise travel truck? When are we going to get that paint? If you want to talk about that, and anybody else you'd like to.
Well, I gotta pass the team owner, make sure that's okay. But yeah. That's been my little side hustle now, and been a lot of fun doing that and learning a lot. And so if you need travel, get a hold of me on that one. Other than that, man, just want to thank Jess and Lori for putting this on. I know that this past week for them has been a little stressful, but the guys here, the teammates I've got, you guys, just everything. This has been a really fun season. I'm really enjoying myself. And now let's see if we got enough points to make it to next week.
Man, a heck of a run out there for that 92 machine. Oh, Greg Klein up 19 positions, kind of on that bubble, waiting to see what the final tally count is, man. Congratulations and good luck if you do make it on through, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
With that, we'll move up one step of that podium, and we'll talk to the man who is stone cold out there tonight, Mr. Mike Adamson of the 88 variety, your hard charger. Here as well, up 23 spots and finishing tonight in second. And Mike, it was just a classic performance of you just kept it steady. You didn't get any off tracks. You raced other people when you had to, but you passed them quickly. It was just a masterclass on what to do at a road course.
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely like walking through a landmine sometimes, but just kept my nose to the ground. I had Greg spotting for me. Appreciate him 100%, and just kept feeding me advice or info that I needed, and just stayed with it.
Well, the Platinum Racing Chevrolet out there, thank you so much for running AAA broadcasting on that paint as well. That you don't understand how much we appreciate you guys supporting us as much as you do. But talk about next week, man. We're going to Miami, Homestead, Miami. It's a pretty straightforward track, but it's not easy. What's the key there? Are you one of the guys that likes to run around the top?
I have run around the top plenty of times. The bottom I think is going to be quick as always. It's just going to be about managing your tires and just staying out of trouble. Hopefully with the second place finish and enough points tonight, hopefully this will solidify me to make the final four for next week.
Well, man, awesome job tonight. I mean, 23 spots. That's tough to do anywhere, especially at one of these crazy tracks where you have to turn right all the time. Who would you like to give some thank yous to?
Before I do that, I just want to let y'all know I did hear the comment the other night. I went and got checked out at the infield care center. It wasn't a concussion or anything after driving that Miami Dolphins paint.
we were discussing that. Yeah, are you going to wear do your Miami Dolphins paint?
No, I got a special paint coming out next week. It's a pretty unique truck. So Andrew Cawthon painted it for me. It looks really good. I was hoping to run it to be in the top four. So as long as I'm in the top four, you'll see it next week. But as far as a shout out, love my wife, thank her to death. Without her, I don't do what I do. And I thank all the guys at the shop, Sean, Alex, Bernard, Shane, all the guys I work with. They support me. And thank everybody at Platinum Racing, Greg, myself. Thank you guys as always. You put on an awesome show, awesome broadcast. And Jess and Lori, thank them for everything they do. And I wouldn't be racing anywhere else.
Man, congratulations there, Mike Adamson, picking up a big number 2 here tonight at Sonoma, man. Congratulations and good luck making it on through to the rest of these playoffs there, buddy.
Absolutely. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
And with that, we trickle down to a man who should be proud of this, your race winner, for the most off tracks. Andrew Cawthon in the
That's
10
probably
machine.
me. Yep.
Having a fantastic, fantastic night. Absolutely picking up those off-track points here this evening. But all seriousness, you stuck with it. You know, a lot of people, a lot of really good drivers out there decided to call it early here tonight. But you stuck out there. You stuck with it and raced on through, picking up a 17th spot out there as well for that 10 machine, man. It was Sonoma is a tricky track, and especially with how these trucks drive now. Like I was mentioning it during the broadcast, but I don't remember these trucks being this twitchy and reactive to, you know, these curbs and some of these corners and everything. Is that the same feeling you guys get out there as well?
Well, the hardest part was just getting the power down, figuring out what gear to be in. This is the second time I've even run this. So once was in the practice race a week and a half ago, and then tonight, got on for the practice beforehand, and I learned a lot. Started running some pretty good laps by the end of it, and once you get the tires hot though on one turn, you spin them, and then it's tough for the next few until you get them cooled down. That was really my biggest problem. I was using the curbs towards the end, going over them, but just getting the power down was the toughest part. I think that was probably a lot of people's problem, getting the power down, and then you got hot slick rear tires trying to go through some S's and all these sharp turns, and it is not fun.
Well, the ACR Flow Motion Chevrolet is going to be back next week. You guys are running at Miami Homestead. It's another track where grip is going to be everything. Getting power down coming out of turn 2, it's going to give you guys some headaches and stuff. But I know y'all are looking forward to it. So many of y'all drivers in this league love Miami like we do as broadcasters. Are you one of those guys? Do you like Miami and you look forward to it?
Yeah, I do like Miami. I'm a lot better getting the power down when we're just turning left. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
I like Miami. I mean, I'm real happy for the season I had so far. I made the playoffs. It's my second season. Made the playoffs. Kind of out of luck for some people that kind of fell out, but good standing in the points. So overall, so far this season for me has been a pretty good success. Got the misfits that I hang out with in Discord, and we have a good time. We're not really taking anything too seriously. We all want to do well, but you know, um, probably none of us are championship caliber drivers, so we just have.
At least y'all are having fun. Yeah,
that's right, man. Try not to get upset about too much, and have a good time. And hey, it's kind of like hanging out with the guys here once a week when we get to do this. So, yeah. Other than that, man, had a good time, and I finished. So even if it was a couple laps down.
And you're my hero of the race because you got the most off tracks. That's what I would have done. And if it was up to me, I'd give you some kind of prize. We talked about that a little bit. I don't have any prizes to give out, but you're getting to talk to us.
a jar of dirt or something. Yeah.
No, I said a Lionel Richie album or something like that.
Well, yeah, but jar of dirt is more appropriate. Go ahead.
Well, if I finished 17th and had the most off tracks, I mean that means there's some people behind me that
exactly
that I still hung in there and finished ahead of. So I can't, like I said, I'm not too disappointed.
You shouldn't be, because you actually had a pretty dang good race. I would be happy to finish in the top 20 doing just at a tough track like this. But who would you like to give some shout outs to?
Obviously Jess and Lori for hosting this thing, putting this thing together, for especially with the move that they've had to make, halfway across the country, still still keeping everything together and keeping us all informed of what's going on. Like I said, the misfits that I hang out with in the Discord, they know who they are, and obviously you guys for broadcasting these things, giving us something to go back and take a look at and watch, and having a good time doing that and laughing at ourselves, or at least for me, I'll be laughing at myself as I watch this. But yeah, man, pretty much just everybody here in this league, man, for keeping it a good time and getting together every week and doing this. Really do have a good time with these guys, and between them and Lori and Jess. They make it happen, and you guys obviously. So that's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, you may not be a winner here tonight at the race, but you are a winner in our hearts for sure, man. Mr. Andrew Cawthon of the 10 Machine finishing here tonight in 17th. We look forward to seeing you back out here in action again at Homestead there, buddy.
You got it, gentlemen. I will see you next week.
Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. And now, for the final interview of the evening, we get to talk to tonight's race winner, the number 53 machine, Jeremiah Burke, punching his ticket back into the championship race. Oh man, Jeremiah, this one had it all. We had so many of these road course kind of like head dogs, man, just run into some issues here late. Maybe some different strategies, just maybe having some issues, but you come out on top out of all of them, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I had to work for that one. These guys are getting better and better at road courses every season. But yeah, that was a blast. That's a hard track. It was a lot of fun though.
What's the most challenging thing here? I know All-Star Racing, you guys got some guys that know how to do some road courses out there, including yourself. But what's the most challenging part of this track? The part I had the most problem with when I was running stock cars here was the elevation change. Like when you get to the top of the hill, you lose all your grip. You really have to slow it down there. But where did you have the most challenges?
By far, it's definitely going up the hill, trying to keep the tires under you. Basically, the whole track has no grip, so just trying to feather the throttle and really I'm keeping it in higher gears and just doing everything to keep the RPM low and try not to buzz the tires off of it. Getting up to it's really hard to power down the straightaway after turn 11 too, without completely crashing into the wall or something. It's just a tough track all the way around. But if you can feather the throttle, have a nice easy touch on the gas, get through the gears, and then you got to manage the weight transfer with all the lefts and rights and left and right. And it's a rhythm track for sure.
Well, you had all the rhythm tonight. Now, this carries you into next week. I'm hoping you have a little bit for them there at Miami that we're going to get to see, which is going to be fun. I love that track. I'm going to wish you luck right now, but why don't you give some shout outs and thank yous?
Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, Homestead should be pretty good. I'm pretty good there, but so is everybody else that's in the top four. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I want to thank All-Star Racing, Albert, Dylan, Larry, everybody over there for hanging out, spotting for me today, because that was tough. Just making sure every time I see a yellow flag pop up, where's that truck at? Aaron's, Mike Adamson, we still run together on the endurance stuff and all that, and just everybody, Mike, Lori, Jess, Lori, and Adam, Alan, and Alan, making all this go around.
Man, oh man, a fantastic run out there for the All-Star Racing 53 machine. Jeremiah Burke coming home with the race victory here at Sonoma and moving on, assuming I got a pretty high certainty that you're going to be moving on, and we'll see you here at the championship race, racing for that victory here next week at Homestead, man. Congratulations and good luck next week.
Thank you, guys. I'll try to be up here again to accept that championship trophy next week.
And there,
he's ready for it.
He is ready for it, and man, you know what that means? I'm ready for it too. Bring on next week. Let's just skip a couple days. They can race on Friday, right?
Oh,
well, no, we got
just do
late models on Friday. We'll do Saturday. We're open on Saturday.
Sure, we can do it.
Yeah, make it happen.
Man, oh man, that indeed. But either way, a fantastic race done here at Sonoma. Let's go ahead and do our official field rundown and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight. Jeremiah Burke in that 53 machine picking up the race win at this tricky road course track that took a whole bunch of good drivers out here tonight. The 88 of Mike Adamson, your hard charger of the night, up 23 spots to finish there in second. That's a solid run there for him. You got the 92 Greg Klein as well, up 19 spots. So a great run from Greg to find a footstep on that podium. Just outside of that podium, though, the 28 of George Rincon, man, he was beaten, battered, and bruised by a bunch of other people out there, but he still fought on to pick up a 4th place finish. 64 Trevor Robertson, he was looking like he was going to be one of the ones that we could possibly see at the top step of that podium, but just a couple mistakes there late, and he slips a few spots back to a 5th place position. Same thing with that 14 of Dustin Eaton. Just having a little bit of a run-in with some traffic. He finds himself down there in 6th. 7th will be the 18 of Andrew Player, having a pretty solid run as well. I don't know if it's going to be enough to push him on through, but we will have to wait and see. 55, Reiki Wittenberg having a nice run, finishing here tonight in 8th. 7 of Jonah Long having a fantastic run here this evening as well. We saw him battling with a whole bunch of people out there, getting that 9th place finish. And rounding out tonight's top 10, how about reverse of that? The 01, Kelly Keel, picking up a solid finish here tonight.
84 of Josh Bittner will finish in 11th place after taking the pole here tonight. Jonathan Osborne in the 81 will finish in 12th. All these trucks that you've heard so far are all on the lead lap. Dave the Gambler Mayberry, 2 laps down in the 29, will finish in 13th place, right in the middle of the field. Just Vaught in the 33 will finish in 14th. 15th will be Mike Everidge in the 82. Sean McDonald had one of those trucks that was one of the ones to beat out there, but the 23 will finish here in 16th. Andrew Cawthon got to talk to our lucky draw driver of the 10 tonight. Good to talk with him. He'll finish in 17th. 18th will be Russ Endicott in the 57. The 27 of Tim Pope will finish in 19th place. Mike Taylor is going to round out your top 20 here in the 98 truck.
Yeah, number 4, Deion Jones. He made it around several times, all over the place. 21st. 13, Earl Evans, sponsored, not sponsored. He had a fun night, let's put it that way.
Great jump. I'm watching it again.
Somersault, 22nd. 1, 2, 3, John Gallagher in that Kingsford charcoal machine ended up 23rd. Albert Anderson, 3, 2, 3. America's driver, who I know he was celebrating Flag Day. That's American as you get right there, Albert is. 24th, Greg Dobson, 085, the Canadian out there, 25th, and David L. Kelly in the 49 rounds it out in 26.
And there you got it. That is your field here from Sonoma. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a great time out here with us. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. We've already reached that 400 mark. Let's go for 500. I'd love to see a 500 by the end of this
Yes.
end of this year. That'd be absolutely fantastic. We thank you all for that great support. And as always, if you've also liked any of the races, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well, so that way we can continue to grow this fantastic community that we got going on. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to the race sponsors of Blue Fox Properties and Dave Mayberry. Give them a call at 520-850-4189 if you're looking to buy or sell your house in the Tucson, Arizona area, or anywhere across the country, especially if, maybe you enjoyed really watching the racing here at Sonoma. I know they do more than NASCAR here throughout the year. You can probably talk to him and be like, hey, is there any houses or any properties up there for sale? And he can definitely help you on out with that 18 years of experience he's got. And I tell you, this market just, man, gets crazier and crazier day by day. So be sure to not do it alone and get yourself a good quality realtor. Well, that does it for us here tonight. We'll return to some short track action with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Late Model Series on Friday night. I absolutely gotta love Friday night under the lights there, man. So don't miss out on that one. But until Friday, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
Gone.
See ya.